Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the bellows on your washer. It's a really easy job. What you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, a 5/16 nut driver, a pair of needle nose pliers, and a pair of slip joint pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now, since we will be working around some electrical circuits on this machine, we will need to disconnect the power before we begin our repair. So simply pull the plug from the receptacle. Now, next we're going to remove the bezel from around the soap dispenser. It's held to the main top with 4 Phillips screws. And that will just lift off and we can set that aside. Now our next step will be to remove the door and the front panel. So we'll start with the 2 Phillips head screws that secure the door to the washer. The design of the hinge on the door allows the door to stay in place even with the screws removed. So once we remove those, we can tilt the door around, lift up on it slightly, and then pull the hinges away from the machine. They have a little arrowhead portion on that hinge that will secure it without the screws. Set that aside. Next we'll remove 2 Phillips screws on the opposite side, along with a little plastic bumper. And we can set those aside. Next we'll flex the top of the front panel to release from 2 little metal clips that hold it in place. Then tilt it down and lift it off of 2 metal hooks on the bottom. They fit into these elongated slots, and we can set that aside. Next we're going to remove 2 5/16 screws that go up into the main top. Now, your model may not have a screw that goes directly up through the top. It may have a hook like this on either side. It is held in place with a screw in this location. It will be a matter of removing that screw, tilting the hook out, and dropping it down. That will allow us to lift the main top, and we'll support that against the wall or have somebody hold it in place for us. Next, I recommend removing 2 5/16 screws that hold the door lock mechanism to the washer. That'll give us better access to the top of the bellows. We can just rotate that door lock assembly out of the housing and set it up on top of the soap box. Now we can disengage all of the tabs that secure that bellows in place on the front. Just get a grip on it, pull them all out. And you can tuck that back in out of the way. Now, if your model has a drain on the bottom of it, the next thing we'll need to do is remove that clamp. Please squeeze it with a pair of pliers, slide it down onto the lower portion of it, and disengage it from the bellows. Now, the bellows is secured to the outer tub with a wire band and a spring. We'll next just roll those off of the lip on the outer tub, and then we can pull the bellows out. Now, to remove the wire band clamp, you can take a pair of needle nose pliers or a flat blade screwdriver. So we'll just reach in behind here and pry that spring forward, stow it over the edge, and that'll allow that to release the boot on the front of the tub. we will be reusing the wire band and the spring on the new bellows. And then we'll just lift the old one completely off around the tub cover. And then pull it out. Now, if you haven't already done so, you can remove this shroud that the front of the bellows attaches to, because it will make it easier to install the new one. So just pull it forward on the top, and slide it a little bit to the right. There's a couple of hooks on the bottom that engage into some slots across that rail. So just pull that out and set it aside. Now the new boot will come with a plug in the bottom of it in case your model does not have that drain hose. If it does, simply loosen the clamp and pull that plug out of it. When we install the new bellows, you'll note that there is a V-groove shape that will fit into that lip around the tub cover. And there are also some location notches all the way around that bellows that correspond with some tabs on the tub cover. So we'll start by dropping it into position, lining up the top center, and pulling it up over that lip. Now it is a silicone type of rubber, so it's quite sticky. It doesn't slide well on here. So just work a little bit on either side. Once you have it pulled all the way around the circumference of that lip on the tub cover, we need to check those location marks to make sure that we have it centered properly. Now, once we have that in place, we can now wrap the wire band around it and reconnect the spring. Now we hook that spring up under that portion of it. And just very carefully try to slide that wire enough that the spring will be just past the 12 o'clock position. Now with our needle nose pliers, I'm going to grasp the other end of that wire band right by the hook. We're basically going to force that onto the lip of that bellows. We'll take our second pair of pliers, grasp that spring, get a good firm grip on it, and then we're going to pull it towards us. Now keep in mind that the band won't stretch, only the spring, so don't try to move the lower portion of it. As it engages, make sure that it sits firmly up against the tub cover. And then go around and check and make sure that band stayed in the V-groove all the way around. Remember to remove the plug if your model has the drain on it. Pull the plug out with a pair of pliers and discard it. Check that outlet. Make sure that it's clear. Engage it back on the bellows. Put the clamp on it. Now we can put the shroud back in place. Again, there's 3 little tabs on the bottom. Just engage those, slide them over. And there's a couple of pins on either side that will line up so that it'll lay flat against the top. Pull that bellows out through the front. And there are tabs all the way around that will correspond with slotted openings in that shroud. So we'll start by engaging one on the bottom so that we keep it straight. Center it up and press it firmly into place. And since we have the door lock removed, that gives us good access to install the bellows into the shroud at the top, and then just work our way all the way around that bellows, making sure that it's not stretched in any portion. Try to keep the tabs centered with the openings. Now, if the bellows is properly seated into that shroud, there should be no gaps around the edge. It should make a nice tight seal. Now we can put the door lock mechanism back in place and reinstall the 2 5/16 screws. Make sure when you're putting the screw in on the left side of that door lock, you don't jam this little plastic wire that engages the door lock release. Make sure that's not pinched. And then we can set the main top down. Make sure the wire harness on the left side is tucked up into the main top. And it's not pinching it anywhere. And then reinstall the 2 5/16 screws. Now we're ready for the front panel. Engage those 2 slotted openings on the bottom with the hooks on the base. And then make sure that these little metal hooks on the top fit into the slotted openings on the top of the front panel. We can next install the plastic bumpers. Take caution not to over tighten those screws. It's just a plastic bumper and you don't want to break them. Now we can reinstall the door. We'll line up the 2 hinges, the slotted openings in the front. Once they're fully inserted, let them drop down so that the holes line up. Reinstall the 2 screws. Take caution that these screws go in straight and don't strip. They'll go in cross-threaded. Snug them up securely. Check for the fit, make sure everything closes easily. And now we're ready to put the soap dispenser cover on. Next, we'll reinstall the soap box cover. Set it into position. And install the 4 Phillips screws. Now we can reconnect the power and our repair is complete. I told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching and good luck with your repair.